So, guys, I've just got a quick video for you here. We're just going to watch Jerome Powell talk about the future of digital payments. And for God's sake, Jerome, just say the words XRP. That's what we want to hear. But let's just get into it and watch this video.
There's a mixture of innovations that will have lasting and perhaps salutary effects, and those that will turn out to be mostly hype. And it's never possible in real time to be sure which is which.
I mean, you say that, but let's look at the ones with real utility. I think it's pretty obvious in this space which is which, to be honest. But let's see what he says going forwards.
More fundamentally, innovation is the key to driving productivity in the economy, and the Fed has long supported responsible innovation.
Sorry, I know I keep interrupting this, but like, how much of a change of tune is coming out like the Federal Reserve in America right now? Since this executive order, before it, all we hear is like how bad crypto is and how it's used to facilitate like what is it, malicious activities, or what's the phrasing that they use? Oh, I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but I can't believe the 180 they've done. I know they still talk about it, like, and they still say, oh yeah, it can be used for like bad reasons, but their stance on crypto has changed completely.
Novel technologies like distributed ledger and decentralized finance have the potential to increase the efficiency of the payment system and encourage a more competitive financial landscape. So the direction of travel is encouraging, and the future we can now imagine is one featuring ubiquitous real-time payments delivered at extremely low cost. It's also easy, however, to see the risks. Our existing regulatory frameworks were not built with a digital world in mind. Stablecoins, central bank digital currencies, and digital finance more generally will require changes to existing laws and regulation, or even entirely new rules and frameworks under the principle of same activity, same regulation. From a consumer protection standpoint, users may not fully understand the extent of their potential losses, or that these investments generally lack the government protections that accompany many of the traditional financial instruments and services that they're used to. There are also our potential financial stability concerns for some products. In particular, we don't know how some digital products will behave in times of market stress, which could lead to large destabilizing flows, nor do we know how stresses in crypto markets could potentially spill over into the traditional financial system. Moreover, crypto assets have been used in some cases to facilitate illicit activity, and we need to prevent this so that the innovations that do survive and do attract broad adoption are those that provide value over time for legal use cases.
So that's it. Illicit activity. That's the phrase that they always coin. But how big of a statement is that? So the ones that do survive can be there for like broad adoption. Guys, they're saying everything we wanted to hear a little while ago. I think it's just madness, like the stance that governments are taking now on crypto.
All of these innovations have made central bankers think critically about the intersection of money, payments, and technology, and about the role of central banks in the economy. And that is why we at the Fed recently issued a discussion paper on the future of money and payments. The paper is intended to be a first step in fostering a broad and transparent public dialogue about the future of money, and we look forward to receiving ideas and comments from a wide array of stakeholders about what the future of the financial system should look like. As the paper notes, we are actively examining potential use cases, benefits, costs, etc., risks of a central bank digital currency. And while we haven't made any decisions over whether we will eventually issue a dollar CBDC, or what the underlying technological design of one would be, we did outline 4 key principles that are currently guiding our thinking.
Yeah, we haven't made a decision, but our country and 90% or 95% of the world's GDP are experimenting with something we've not made a decision about. Come on, lay off it, Jay Powell.
The first is that a CBDC will need to ensure users' privacy. So we're researching technological and policy options for a robust privacy framework. At the same time, a CBDC would need to be identity verifiable in order to prevent money laundering, terrorist financing, and other illicit activity, just as banks and other financial institutions currently comply with such rules. We also foresee a CBDC in the United States being intermediated so that it can leverage the private sector's ability to innovate as well as the private sector's existing privacy, identity management, and AML frameworks. An intermediated CBDC would also lessen financial stability risks that could arise from disintermediation of private sector providers, where financial services also provided by the government. Fourth and finally, a CBDC would need to be able to serve as a widely accessible means of payment for all transactions, meaning it would need to be seamlessly transferable and between customers of different intermediaries. In any case, digital innovation in the financial sector is here to stay, and we are clearly only at the beginning of this journey. There is no question.
It's here to stay, and we're clearly only at the beginning of this journey. There's one extra point that he didn't mention about CBDC, is the fifth point, that you're going to need a neutral bridge asset to trade that across borders. That's where something like XRP steps in, and that's my speculation at the end of this video, guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Peace up, A-Town down, as Usher would say.